Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 32. Today's date is September 29th, 2017. Thank you for joining me once again on the Solid the Assassin channel. Of course, my name is Troy West. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to my loyal subscribers and all my loyal sports blog watchers. I know I have a few, so I want to say thank you personally to you guys. Of course, I'm doing it today on Friday. You can notice today is not Saturday, it's Friday. I have another busy weekend coming up, so I want to make sure I got the blog in pretty nice and smoothly. Last week was a little bit rushed. I don't like being rushed, period, when it comes to anything, but definitely not this. I want to be able to take my time and get all my points across and everything, so don't have to worry about rushing today. So I was like, I'll do it on Friday instead of Saturday this week. Of course, this week, I always touch on baseball first. Of course, the playoffs are coming, so I'll touch on that briefly. I got a special preview show coming up Monday, October 2nd, as all the matchups will be set in the MLB playoffs, so I'll touch on that briefly today. NBA talk today. Of course, the Carmelo and Anthony trade, it happened right when I was, the night before I recorded, and I didn't check out the news cycle, so it went over my head. So, of course, he went to OKC on the trade, and of course, D-Wade cleared waivers. He will be now with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I touch on that. I give you my top 5. I call them wing forwards. Of course, NBA pretty much might as well say they don't have a lot of positions anymore, but I give you my top 5 wing forwards, so you probably already know who probably half of this list is, obviously. NFL Week 4, of course. A big game last night for the Packers. I touch on that as they pretty much defeated the Bears easily. Touch on all the bigger games this week. And give you my picks for Week 4, all 16 games. Last week I didn't do too good, only went 8-8 last week, so hopefully I can bounce back with my picks. And final thoughts, I'm just going to touch on, stuff that's going on in the world of sports and in the world right now with basically Trump against the world and other little small things. And like I said, I touched on it Wednesday about the Ray Lewis statue, everything I know so far about that. I gave my strong opinions on that, so I'll touch on that as well again near the end of the video. But let's go ahead and get started with the Major League Baseball update. Of course, the playoffs start Tuesday with the American League Wild Card game. Of course, look like it's going to be the Yankees and the Twins in that game. Yankees still could catch Boston for the East, but looks like it's not going to happen. I think there's like 3 games out. There's only like 3 games left, so probably be wrapped up by today. American League, another thing that's not in question is the home field throughout. Cleveland got like a 1-game lead over Houston, so they fighting for that. But Boston definitely be going on the road if they do win the East, or the East win if the Yankees come back. They will go on the road to face one of those teams. And the Twins are definitely a road team in that wild card game, so that's the only thing that's set in the American League. In the National League, of course, the Dodgers wrapped up home field. The Nationals will be the 2 seed. Cubs will be the 3rd seed as they wrapped up the Central this week. So the Cubs and the Nationals, that's the only matchup set in stone right now. Dodgers got to wait on Arizona. They clinched the playoff spot. They will be at home. Colorado, I think, still holding on to that final wild card spot. Milwaukee is right there. I think St. Louis still slightly alive, but they lost last night, so they might be officially eliminated. So that's everything in the National League has to be set up. So, but it's more clear cut over there. Like I said, I'm gonna get into all of that on Monday. So I just want to briefly touch on it right now, how everything's are going. Monday I'm gonna break down who I think will win the World Series. both of my teams I picked for the beginning of the year are still alive, so I might be stubborn and just still pick my original pick, but I don't know. I have a couple of days to think about it. So that's it for baseball this week. Since I'm gonna talk a lot about it on Monday, I didn't want to put too much of it in today's vlog. So I'm gonna move on to the NBA. Of course, as I mentioned, Carmelo Anthony finally gets out of New York. It's right before training camp starts. They get a deal done with the OKC Thunder. I think it was Enes Kanter was a part of the trade going back to New York. So now OKC have Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. Going to be interesting. A lot of teams, a lot of experts already put them in the Western Conference Finals. I don't want to go that far yet, but they had the talent to get there, definitely. So I just want to see how those three guys play together. I think Melo, I think it's going to be easier for him to fit in my opinion, because he can spot up and shoot. I think it's going to be harder for Paul George and Russell Westbrook to play together. That's just my opinion, but we'll see. I think all those guys want to win, so I think all the little stuff that we think is going to be an issue, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I really think it's going to work for the most part. I think it's just going to take time for them to mesh, but I think it's going to work. D-Wade, of course, the buyout through the Bulls went through this week. He cleared waivers. Cleveland signed him for the veterans minimum, so that's definitely a big pickup for the Cavs. Knowing that Isaiah Thomas is going to be out till basically January. But Cleveland definitely could argue they got a better team this year, more deeper team. Of course, they picked up Derrick Rose in the offseason as well, who I think is going to be a surprise. People think he's done. I don't think he's done. And he's probably going to have to start the season. So I think Cleveland is forced to be reckoned with in the East, as always. Boston probably is second right now. But I like the Wade pickup. That you're not basically spending no money. I think it's just $2.3 million for 1 year. So, but the debate this week has been who will be a bigger impact. I think Wade is going to be an impact. Number one, because he's won championships. He has a championship pedigree. Another voice in that locker room, because maybe people started to take a LeBron voice just a little bit. So you got another voice there you can go to. Of course, his clutch down the stretch, he'll probably be one of the guys to get the ball at the end of the game as well. But I think Melo's going to be the bigger impact, just simply because he's going to be play more. I don't think Wade's going to play. Definitely not going to play all 82 games. He almost a guarantee for that. And I think his minutes is going to be here. And I think him and JR probably wind up splitting minutes, pretty much. I think Melo's going to play more, and I just think Oklahoma City's a way better team with him on it. So I give him the slight edge as who will have the bigger impact. But both situations are interesting. NBA season starts, of course, in a couple of weeks. I think it's not a foregone conclusion for Golden State. It's a lot of landmines out in the West, a lot. So I still think they're gonna come out the West though, but I think it's gonna be much tougher. Today they'll go 15-1 like they did last year, or 16-1, I should say. Sorry about that. I think they'll probably be in a couple of 6-game series, maybe even the 7-game series. We'll see. But it's gonna be tough. The whole West is probably 10 legit teams that probably have a chance for the playoffs. Only 2 teams I still think they got some work to do is the Kings and the Lakers. Everybody else has the talent that they could probably make a run at least a place. Maybe Phoenix too. Even though I like Phoenix, I think Phoenix still need a little bit more. They probably had 3 teams out West. That's probably, you would think, okay, they probably definitely not gonna make it. But I could be wrong, but even those 3 teams have talent, so. But we'll see. Going to be an interesting season. Preseason actually starts tomorrow night. Warriors play the Wolves, I saw that. So I might try to check that game out. I think it's going to be on NBA TV, so probably check that out. We'll see how the Wolves look. They made a lot of changes, of course, with Jimmy Butler. So we'll see how the season unfolds. Like I said, the season started early this year because of they would have limited the back-to-backs. So I think it's the 17th of October, so not that long to go at all. Okay, like I said, I put together a list. I've been trying to do a top 5 list every week before the season starts. The NBA is not really clear-cut anymore. When I was coming up, you know, you really had a center, you really had a power forward, you really had a small forward, shooting guard, a point guard. Now, players so talented they can play 3 or 4 positions. Pretty much the center has been taken out the game. So I call this list the wing forward. So these guys, most of these guys on the list probably all played a little 2 guard, played the 3, probably even played the 4 at times. So I just kept it at wing forwards. Just basically, they're definitely not guards. So I'm gonna start with number 5. I put Jimmy Butler here at number 5. As you'll see, the rest of my list, you're like, wow, he's number 5. But I think somebody gonna be upset about a snub. And I wanted to put this guy on the list, but I just still think he's too young. Probably could guess who it is, but you'll see when I finish my wish list. I'll talk more about it. But Jimmy Butler deserves to be on this list. He's came a long way. He's came in as pretty much a defensive specialist, but he's opened up his offensive game. Pretty much carried the Bulls the last 2 years. I think he was the best player on the team, getting them to the playoffs. Taking over after the thing with Derrick Rose getting hurt. I think he's going to be a leader for Minnesota. I think he's going to be the key to how far they go. If you have a monster year, Minnesota can make some noise in the Western Conference. Number 4, Paul George. Paul George, of course, he probably play a little 2 guard sometimes. Of course, he just got traded to OKC. I put him slightly over Butler because I think his offensive game is a little bit more polished than Jimmy's is. I think defensively, Butler's probably have a slight edge over Paul George, but Paul George can play on the defensive end as well. Of course, he came a long way back from the gruesome injury he suffered for Team USA a couple of years ago. A lot of people doubted him, thinking he wasn't going to come back to be the same, but he's been that and more. Carried the Pacers to the playoffs last year, of course losing the first round to Cleveland. But he's an excellent player. I see if he can improve his game and see what impact he'll have with the Thunder this year. Number 3, these 3 guys, you probably flip a coin, people say, but this is my opinion. Kawhi Leonard is number 3 on this list. Same thing about Butler. Came in the league, defensive player, a little timid and shy in my opinion. Then took over the NBA Finals a couple of years ago for the Spurs. Won the Finals MVP. And then been given the keys since Duncan retired. His offensive game is definitely came a long way. He can shoot from anywhere on the floor. Hopefully he comes back for his injury. Of course, he twisted his ankle real bad in the playoffs against the Golden State Warriors. But now he's the clear number 1 for the Spurs. Hopefully he gets some help for LaMarcus Aldridge this year. Spurs, a lot of people forgetting about him again because all the changes has been made in the Western Conference, but you never can count this team out. And Kawhi Leonard be the reason why you can't count him out. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Some people probably can say he could be number 1 now, so you probably already guess who number 1 is still, in my opinion. But Durant definitely could probably take over that this year. See what he did in the finals last year. Finally won his first title. Like I said, I don't really, care about the move from OKC. Now, pretty much to me, it looks like a foregone conclusion now. I mean, it don't really seem like a big deal now. All the changes that's been made, especially this offseason. I think he needs to stay off social media. That's something else to talk about. But as a player, he's definitely the second best in the world, at least. Can shoot it from anywhere on the floor. His defense is underrated. Plays good defense as well. And he was definitely the best player on a championship team last year for the Warriors. So Kevin Durant is number 2. And of course, number 1, the king is still king in my opinion. LeBron James. This is his 15th season, and this and that. He's slowing down, all this other stuff you want to say, but the guy is phenomenal on the court. He makes everybody around him better. He's been in 7 straight NBA Finals, which I think is a big deal. A lot of people don't see it as a big deal because he only won 3, but still, that's an accomplishment, going to 7 straight Finals. I think that's a big thing. So, I mean, he sort of play, either love him or hate him. I like his game. He'll always be a fascinating player to me because, like I said, going back to when he came out in the draft, I didn't think he would be this good. I thought he would be a good player, but not the best in the world. No, I didn't think he had. I thought he was just a bigger guy that can dunk. Like, that's just basically what I thought he was going to be. But he proved me wrong. He came a long way for his game, so I don't doubt him anymore. That was a long time ago. That's before he even won his first title. You know, so I was a doubter in the beginning, but probably by actually that playoff game, I want to say 2007, when he carried Cleveland and he went against Detroit, scored that 29 straight points that he did against Detroit in that playoff game. That's when I was like, okay, I give it up to him. He's going to be special. That's when I turned the corner on him. But he's still number 1 until further notice. The rat is right there, though. Kawhi is close as well, if you look at both sides of the ball. But that's my top 5 wing forwards. Jimmy Butler number 5, Paul George number 4, Kawhi number 3, Kevin Durant number 2, and LeBron James, the king, still number 1. Until further notice, he's probably going to go to his 8th straight Finals. So, can't wait till the NBA season starts. Very excited season, especially in the Western Conference. A lot of moves. See how everything works out over in the Western Conference. Very curious to see. Alright, so that's it for the NBA this week. Time to move on to the NFL. Of course, today's Friday, so of course I previewed Thursday night's game. Was right about the outcome, was just wrong about the score. As always, that's why I like predictive scores, but Green Bay pretty much dominated the Chicago Bears last night, winning 35-14. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes. Of course, they had the delay. It was about an hour delay due to lightning in the area. So that was a little bit awkward, but game still rolled on. Didn't affect the Packers at all as they rolled the Bears. If I was on the Bears side, of course, everybody always calling for Trubisky. Like I said yesterday, I still think it's too early. They're 1-3, so it's starting to get close to that time. But I think they still have a chance to turn it around. I still like they running game. Defense got exposed a little bit last night. But they Bears offense turned the ball over a couple of times as well to put the defense in a bad position. Because Rodgers only had, I think, 173 yards passing with the 4 touchdowns. So he had a short field a lot of the time. So, not, like I said, I still think it's not yet. Even though I'm thinking, because the Bears don't play till next Monday night. So you got all this long layup. I think we'll see what John Fox made of. Let's see, or the organization, or what. All this time off is going to be a lot of talk about Trubisky, so we'll see what they do. But I think it's still too early. I think the Bears still need to stay with Glennon for now. But I'm sort of leaning. I think they're going to make the change, but I probably will still wait till about half the season to see where I'm at. If I'm not in it, I'll go to them. But I think they're going to go to him if I had to take a guess. But the Packers, big win. They go to 3-1. Bears fall to 1-3. Of course, I said the Bears next got Monday night game. I think it's against the Detroit Lions. I mean the Minnesota Vikings. That's who they play next in the division. Green Bay, not sure who they play next. Matter of fact, I do. They play. Who they play? Play somebody. It's a big game for them next week. Matter of fact, I can check it while I'm right here. I pulled up my picks. They pick them, so I can tell you my picks. The Dallas Cowboys. I knew it was some significant team. So it was a big win for the Packers that they get their extra time off. The Devontae Adams injury was a little scary, the helmet-to-helmet injury, but they say he's doing okay. The long layoff will help him. Maybe he'll get back on the field by the next game. I guess a fine coming for the Bears player. So he went right at Adams with helmet-to-helmet contact. So never want to see that in the game. It's always a little nerve-wracking with somebody on the field that can't move. So, but they say he can move all his extremities, and he's doing okay. So that's good news. Of course, next Thursday night's game is the New England Patriots against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which might be an interesting game. Of course, I'm going to get into who both of those teams play this week as we move on to our big games of the week. Of course, I'm going to touch on all the games, but just briefly on some of the games. And all the games I put here, I got 6 games actually here this week that I'm going to talk a little bit about. The other games, I'm just going to give you my winner and give you a brief reason why. First game up, just like last week, we had a London morning game. We got another one, as it will feature the New Orleans Saints coming at 1-2. The Dolphins 1-1. Of course, the Dolphins had an embarrassing loss against the Jets last week. The Saints got a big win against Carolina. I like the Dolphins in this game, specifically because they got embarrassed last week. And I think the Saints game was sort of more of an anomaly than fact. But might wind up being a high-scoring game here. But I got the Dolphins winning over in London. Bills and Falcons, that's one of my big games this week. Falcons are 8-point favorites though. Bills 2-1. So it's a little bit surprising, but like I said, they still got decent talent, especially on offense with Taylor and McCoy. But Falcons at home, so I think that 8 points might be appropriate in this game. I don't think the Bills' offense will be able to keep up with Atlanta. I think Atlanta should win convincingly. Bills, though, if they get this win, they can stay pace with the Patriots, who eventually they will play, of course. But I think Atlanta, of course, they don't win in my power rankings now. A little bit shaky, like some of the games they played this year against the Bears was close. And last week's game against Detroit was close, but I still think they one of the best teams in this league. And I think they'll prove it, as they think they'll beat the Bills pretty convincingly. So I will go with the 8. I think they'll probably beat the Bills by at least 10 or more. Bengals and Browns next up. We got the Bengals. Both of these teams are on 3, but the Browns is on my list when I say, unless you do it, prove it to me. I'm going to keep picking against you. I picked against them. They let me down last week against the Colts. I thought they was going to step up and beat the Colts last week. So they are on that list. So I'm just going to go with the Bengals first. Bartez Burkhart's come back. I think he's, believe it or not, he's one of the catalysts of this team to keep this team going. I think this team will come out and play hard. I got the Bengals winning over the Browns. Rams and Cowboys. One of my bigger games of the week. Dallas 6.5 favorites. I think it might be a little closer than that. Rams, of course, they played last Thursday night. Gave up a lot of points against the 49ers. So you would think Dallas had more talent and it might translate. But I think that's more of an anomaly. Like I said, the Thursday night games, either one way or another, you can't look and see, well, that's the team. I think the Rams, though, I liked how they look, even though I just said that. I think their offense going to challenge Dallas's as well. Very interesting game, but I think Dallas will pull one out there at home. Even though Dallas, if you look at their recent history, don't play that well at home. They play better on the road, actually. But I think the Rams still not ready yet. I think the Cowboys been there and done that. I think Ezekiel Elliott bounced back, have a big game. Well, even a bigger game because he bounced back from last week's game, of course. But I think he'll probably have over 100 yards. I think the Cowboys control the game and win. I think it'll be close, though. I think it'll be between 3 and 6. I think it'll be under that 6.5. Lions and Vikings. Another game that's on my list to talk about. Lions, of course, tough loss last week against the Atlanta Falcons. And Minnesota coming off surprising win last week with Case Keenum throwing the ball all over the place. I like the Lions in this game just because I still don't, even though Case Keenum looks sharp, still don't believe in him. He's shown me too much that he can't do it, so they can't come back down to earth. I think the Lions will be motivated by last week's loss. This game is even pick'em, so of course I'm going with the Lions outright. I think they win a close one in Minnesota, and the winner of this game will be tied with Green Bay. So this is a big game, definitely, in the NFC North. Texas Titans, not on my list for big games, but it's an interesting game nevertheless. I got the Texans winning this game. I like the way they looked last week against New England. Tennessee, they 2-1. They bounced back from their week 1 loss, but still, just think they still got to grow a little bit more. And I still like Houston's defense. I think they'll slow down the running game a little bit for Tennessee. And at home, remember that embarrassing loss they had against Jacksonville in week 1. I think the Texans come out and play well and they win. Panthers, Patriots, of course that's on my list. Very, very interesting game. Both teams 2-1, but Panthers come in with their offense looking so bad, and then the Patriots come in with their defense looking bad. So can the Panthers finally get their offense going against the Patriots? I'm not sure. Well, I'm hoping that they don't, because I was pretty much stuck with the Patriots defense. I might can find a better defense, but I was trying to pick up one on waivers, but I got beat. Shout out to my fantasy football league, the War Room, my man Mel, my man Derek, Barrel CC in it as well. Me and my man Mel played each other this week. Of course, I brought up Mel's name a couple of times on the blog, especially about boxing, but it's his league. He's 3-0, I'm 3-0. So the battle of the undefeateds this weekend. He already got off to a good start because he had Green Bay defense last night. But enough about that. I think the Patriots will win this game. I think they will do enough for offense. I don't like that 9 points though. I think it's going to be closer to 9 points. But I think Tom Brady going to exploit the Panthers defense enough, especially if Drew Brees was able to do it last week. And I think Carolina offense still, I think it's more than just Cam being injured. I think they're just not in sync. That's why I said I'd take the risk this week and play them. Excuse me. Belichick is good at exploiting weaknesses, so maybe Cam will turn the ball over a couple of times. That's what I'm hoping for, at least for fantasy. But I hope the Panthers bounce back. I like Cam Newton. They need to go back to that read option. That's what he can do well. They try to make him a stand-back passer. He's not that type of quarterback. So I think they need to let him run that read option. Even though I know they don't want him to get hurt, but the offense just don't look good right now. So, and I think that'll be enough for New England to win this game. So move on. Jacksonville and the Jets. I would go with the Jags. I like the way their defense looked. I think the Jets so surprising last week. I think they put all of their energy into that Dolphins game. I think they're going to struggle. I think the Jaguars dominate, bring them Jets back down to earth again. Steelers and Ravens. Of course, that's on my list. Of course, this probably been one of the biggest NFL rivalries in the last 15 years. Both teams come in 2-1. Ravens, of course, got embarrassed over in London. Steelers, of course, lost to the Bears, so both teams looking to bounce back. Winner of this game will be solely in first place in the AFC North. Steelers a 3-point favorite. Don't blame the public for that. Like I said, I don't trust the Ravens' offense really. But I'm gonna pick them to win this game. They're at home. Steelers' offense to me still look a little shaky. It's only Antonio Brown been the only really consistent player on offense. and he's destroyed the Ravens though in the past. So hopefully they can sort of neutralize him. Got a feeling Le'Veon Bell might have a big game this week for some reason. Don't feel good about it, but I guess me being a fan and I think the Ravens do look a little bit better overall. I think they pull out a close one, another classic win for the Ravens at home. And of course, I'll talk more about the Ravens at the end of this blog, as I'm pretty much upset right now. I mean, that's with the more of the fans, not with the Ravens, but I just hope the Ravens don't give in to all the hoopla that's going on. Giants at Buccaneers, that is not on my list. So, but I just think the Buccaneers go with the Giants on that list. Should they win a game, I'm not picking them, not believing in them. This could be an exciting game though, with Beckham looking healthy, and of course off the field stuff with him, as always. This the Giants' offensive line is still bad. Buccaneers coming off a embarrassing loss, so I think they gonna bounce back this week and beat the Giants at home. Chargers and Eagles, that didn't make my list either, but this is an interesting game. And I'm pretty much going against myself. And this is just probably me because I like the Chargers, but I'm going to pick them to win this game. They're at home. They need a win. They're 0-3. They was on that list like, well, I ain't going to pick them. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win this game. The Eagles, to me, look a little shaky. They 2-1, but some of their games could have went either way. So I think the Chargers finally get off the mat, get their first win of the year at home. The Cardinals and 49ers, got the Cardinals. Even though they lost, they impressed me last week against the Cowboys. 49ers, like I said, I like where they're going in the future. But they 0-3. Wouldn't be surprised if they pull out the upset. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals. They're at home. I think that'll be enough. Raiders and Broncos. Broncos 2-point favorites. This game is interesting. We really see who is pretty much second to Kansas City, because Kansas City right now is that team. Of course, we'll talk about them in a second, as they got a Monday night game this week. I'm going to lean with the Raiders, though, just because I believe in Derek Carr. You need the signature win. That's the thing I've been looking for the Raiders. You got to give me a win where I can say, okay, y'all arrived. Still don't have that win yet in the past 2 years. So I think this would be the one. Broncos, though, defense ain't no joke. Crabtree against Talib should be interesting, because last year, you know, that Talib snatched off Michael Crabtree's chain off his neck, so that was kind of funny. Broncos at home, though, they're tough at home. They're a much better team at home, but my gut is telling me to pick the Raiders, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Seahawks and Colts. I got the Seahawks. I just think the Seahawks better team. They're at home. I think they're slightly better than the Colts. I think they win. That's a Sunday night game. And our Monday night game, of course, Washington against the Kansas City Chiefs. Got the Chiefs winning the game. Like I said, they win this game, they're going to keep moving up my power rankings. They're 4th right now, I believe. They're the only other undefeated team in the league other than the Atlanta Falcons. I think they win this game pretty easily. 31-20, I got the score. Alex Smith, Hunt, the rookie running back, he's been unbelievable. With Tyreek Hill, they make big plays every game. People think it's going to catch up to them eventually, but I don't think it's going to be this game. Redskins, again, 2-1, so they've been a little bit of a surprise, but still haven't looked real sharp. I think they caught Oakland a little bit slipping last week. I think they a little bit above the fray. That, you know, I think they still are going to be hanging on that win. They Kansas City brings them back down to earth. 31-20, I got the score for that game. As I always give you the score for the Monday night games, because I got to, according to my picks, pick them. So that's it for week 4. Like I said, I went 8-8 last week. Hopefully I do a lot better. and have a better week picking games. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap up the blog. See, this is, of course, I'm recording with the Playroom. Of course, with the PlayStation 4 app. It's really a game with a camera. And I decided to go to this because my phone only let me record like videos for 9 minutes. So I always want to have more freedom. But I always try to let you know I'm doing it in the Playroom. That's why you hear the little goofy music that I can't turn off. That some people ask me about. That's why I started recording with a microphone. I was using the camera. The camera has a mic on it, but it don't pick up as well, and the music drowns out my voice. So ever since then, I've been trying to definitely use a microphone so my voice could be more heard and talk over the music. But I wish I could turn the music off, but I can't. Hopefully I get a real camera one day and I can really record. But until then, this will be my platform to use, and I thank PlayStation for that. Got distracted because the little menu came out, so I apologize for that. Final thoughts, like I said, it ain't just baseball, basketball, football professionally. We got college football, a couple of big games tomorrow. The biggest one probably is Clemson and Virginia Tech, so definitely something to look out for. There's probably some other big games as well, but that's the one that jumps out at me. Of course, the stuff going on in the off the field, off the court, whatever you play. The Donald Trump thing, like I said, I touched on it a little bit on Wednesday. Honestly, I'm just tired of it all, the politics and stuff. I know it's impossible to stick to sports. I'm not that type of guy, like just stick to sports. I don't mind it, but it's just silly to me, like, you know, the whole concept of everything is just silly. Who's kneeling, who's not kneeling, but the whole point of Colin Kaepernick, which is being forgotten about. Sports Illustrated got some pushback on an article they made this week. A cover of the magazine don't have him in it, but it has the commissioner and owners and all this type of crap on it. I guess it don't make sense, but they trying to say it's just what happened in the last week, which they could rely on because they write, they bring out a magazine every week. So, but still, the whole point of all this, it was started by Colin Kaepernick, and he's still not in the league, of course. And I really don't think he's going to ever get back in the league, in my personal opinion. So, I think it's been too long, and now they're going to start using the excuse that he's too old or something. So, but it's just sad. Like I said, my position on the whole thing with this country is, first of all, like race does exist in this country. I'm not saying it don't. Personally, in my everyday life, I don't deal with it too much. I just hope that his message don't get completely thrown away. Some people try to keep it alive, but really it's not about that. It's about the flag. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think common sense will tell you that nobody's disrespecting the flag, nobody's disrespecting the military. But like I said, I'm just tired of it all. I just want it all to just go away. The president's an idiot. I don't take him seriously at all. I just want this thing just to calm down. There's nothing. Really, just people talking around in circles. Everybody have their own agenda, especially him. He's a fool. But I think money is more of a problem in this country than anything. That's what makes you sort of equal. If you got money, you're pretty much equal. If you don't, then you're not. So, and it's just a lot of things in politics that don't make sense to me. I got deep beliefs in some things, but I don't really want to get into it too much. But the thing I wanted to touch on the Ravens, which I touched on Wednesday, is now I think the petition they try to take Ray Lewis statue down. They actually has extra security watching it now because they afraid somebody might vandalize it or something, and they mad at Ray Lewis. Like I said Wednesday, I mean, it's sad, number one, that you want this day taken down just because he got on his knees and prayed, or if you feel like they feel like he's contradicted himself. But so what? Like, whatever. I mean, I just hate when, like, you can do one bad thing. I mean, what's it's truth? It depends on what the bad thing is. I understand that. But he didn't do nothing that he deserved to get his statue taken away. And he is this franchise. He's the reason why the Ravens, I'm saying, is relevant in the NFL. Like I said, we took the Cleveland Browns. We was the Cleveland Browns, and we renamed the team. But until he got there, even the first few years, the Ravens was terrible. They was good on offense, actually. They had Vinny Testaverde throwing it all over the field. He was exciting team to watch, but our defense was terrible. We ain't win nothing. We was going 4-12 every year. Of course, Ray Lewis got this little trouble in the off season. Well, during the Super Bowl before the year we won it, he came back, focused on football, carried us to the Super Bowl in 2001. He's the model player for this franchise. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why people were so upset that he wanted to pray, even if he got on one knee. So what? Like, I'm just tired of all of this, man. Like, it's just ridiculous. People just. That's why I don't. Like I said, I blame social media. I hate social media, even though this is sort of what I'm doing in social media. So I might be a little bit critical right now, but like Facebook and all the other crap. Everybody with their 15 minutes. Everybody want to have an opinion, which you have your right to, but it's a right way to do it. Everybody want to just be seen. I think that's an issue in this country, man. Like I said, the racism thing, I think it's real, but until people change their mindset, I said this 1,000 times. Us as black people, white people, everybody have to change their mindset of how you think. Like, the system is flawed. I don't like the system either. It has to change. It is against, well, I don't really like using the word minorities, but it is against us. So it's designed to keep us down. But you still have to make your own choices, and like I said, your mindset has to change. Like, you can't. I mean, everybody. I know people are angry about stuff that's been going on for 200 years, but I look at it like this. I never was a slave. I never had to go into another bathroom or not be able to go to the restaurant. I could do all that stuff. I might get a look by white people. Might get a different look, but they can't throw me out. They can't say I can't come here because I'm black. And I'm not saying that like, all right, I'm grateful that things the way they are, we should just be quiet. No, like, people that's feeling like they're not equal, they should feel the way that they feel. But I just feel like the way we're going about it is wrong. And that's on all sides. That's just my opinion, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But as far as, like I said, the statue, if that statue get taken down, like I said, I don't think I'm gonna be a Ravens fan. I really don't. It'd be ridiculous, like, if they take his statue down now. So just wanted to touch on that, just in case people wanted to know my opinion. But if you didn't, that's fine. So that'll do it. I'm gonna just touch on some of my other projects. Of course, the retro series projects I'm gonna start getting back into. Probably next week I'll start really getting back into it. I was having my apartment worked on a little bit, so that's why the videos have been down. I did able to get some Mega Man videos up yesterday, and I'm gonna try to get back into Sonic Mania and Jak and Daxter as well next week. Probably won't have too many videos up during the weekend. Like I said, I'll be busy, so I probably won't be doing any. That's why I'm doing this vlog a little earlier than normal. I just want to say thank you guys as always. Thanks to my loyal subscribers and my loyal sports blog watchers. Of course, I got a special blog Monday previewing Major League Baseball playoffs, as all the matchups will be set by then. So just want to thank you guys. Just want to say spread peace, man. Like, despite all this stuff going on, I just want a peaceful world, man. That's all. I mean, it might sound cliche and easy, but that's all I want. Treat each other better, period. Even your own people, anybody. Just treat each other right. That's all, and everything else will fall into place. But thanks so much. Episode 32 is over with. Like I said, I know it's a little bit long. I'll try to keep them short as possible. Thank you so much, though, for watching. Like I said, I want to see your comments at the bottom of the screen. Like I said, if you agree or disagree with anything I said, especially sports, I like, trade sports topics with each other. Or if you have any topics that I don't touch on enough, I want to know. So definitely leave your comments below as well. Solid Day Assassin here. Name is Troy West. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you guys Monday, as I'll be back with a special Major League Baseball playoff preview. Thanks so much. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you soon.